Oh, and of course, XSplit just let me know, hey, there's a new version.
No. Oh, boy.
No, thank you. Alright, got chat up. Got show notes up. I have the 2 games I've been playing this week.
I got the 3 games I've been playing this week.
Well, at least we got a lot to talk about with MGS5.
Yeah, right?
Whew. Oh, I should probably retweet. Retweet that tweet.
I should do that too.
Hey, Binary Viking.
Ooh, let me open up chat too. I always forget to do that.
I only do it so I can ban everyone. Yeah. Hey, Standard Master.
Speaking of which, we may need to figure out something for the Game Club casts because I need to be able to pop people out of chat in certain cases.
Oh, I thought you...
So I can block them.
Okay.
I cannot get rid of what they have already said.
Yeah.
I
need to make you a mod, I think.
Okay, which, I mean, it presents some challenges.
Yeah, because the nice thing about banning someone is it deletes all of their previous messages.
Yes.
So let me look at... Apologies to the live stream, we're just going to do some stuff here real quick.
Yay.
Let me see if I can find where the mod list is. Are you in chat right now?
I will be in a moment as long as Twitch cooperates.
Alright, let me know whenever you're in. I might have to promote you from there.
Alright.
Bad words, bad words. Let's just ban the word knobs.
No, you should ban the string. You know what knobs means in Britain, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
Yes.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We have the internet. I know what things are in the world.
Yep. Come on, Twitch chat. Don't be like that. Don't be like that, girl. Alright, there we go. I am in Twitch chat.
Alright, let me look here. What happens when I click on your name? Call a message. Ignore user, timeout, ban user, op user. I'm going to try clicking op user. And it does nothing.
It does nothing.
Oh my god. Twitch, you're the worst. That didn't do anything either. Oh, okay. So the message it was posting was behind the pop-up that had already popped up.
Hooray!
Twitch. UI, UX. Do it.
Oh.
Alright, so you are a mod.
Hooray!
So hopefully you'll now have 2 buttons next to everybody's name.
And banning Binary Viking.
Do you have the timeout and ban buttons now?
I'll probably have to refresh chat to see them.
Probably, yeah.
Let's see. Welcome to chat. Yes.
Nice. Alright. So hopefully that permanently makes you a mod. If not, let me know.
Oh, okay. Nice. So I can purge, I can temp ban, I can... Alright, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that. He's not wrong.
Ban me at your risk. At your peril.
So, fun story about me and Binary Viking. We've been friends for a very long time. I was in a band at one point. We decided that we were going to put a 4th track on one of our demos, and of course it was Never Gonna Give You Up.
Sure.
Because, you know, Rickrolling was the style at the time.
Yeah, and also it's still a really good song.
We had just gotten back from playing a show in Milwaukee, and Binary Viking went both. He traveled with me both ways. We got back. We were hanging out at this coffee house we used to hang out at, and I was like, "Hey, we just got the new demos. Check this out." And I crank it up, and I'm like, "Oh, we got a new song on there. Skip it to number 4." It skips it to number 4, and it kicks in, and then my car starts doing this. It starts just going up and down. The engine threw a rod, and that car never moved from that spot without a tow truck.
Amazing.
This happens every time I do something to him. It's actually pretty, yeah, it's karma.
Binary Viking says, I'll just walk over and throw stuff at the Hannah's window. So,
Yeah,
you know, he knows where you live.
yes, he does.
I don't know. All right, you ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yep,
We're here.
yeah. Why not? I
Don't
mean,
really
we
wanna
may
be
as well do a
recording today.
podcast. We're recording already, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's start in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have the Hannah.
Hello.
Knobs is not with us this week. Something happened at work, and he seems pretty displeased about it, so... and we'll probably be stuck there most of the day. So.
And also a hearty happy birthday to Knobs.
Yes,
Oh.
an unfortunate happy birthday of, hey, I'm stuck at work.
I was gonna put it on Facebook, and I was gonna no, I'm gonna see him later.
Yeah.
Do that in person, quote unquote.
Yeah. All right, we have a new episode up from the Hannah and crew talking about it's the Hannah, White Rabbit, Binary Viking, other JZ chatting about PAX 2015, sort of wrapping up the show here, talking almost 2 hours worth of chatter here. So kind of,
Yeah.
He talked about the beginning, and they talked about the end.
Yeah.
And how much they loved PAX.
I want to go back.
I just want to be there.
Work was not kind this week. Well, okay,
yeah.
Work was fine until Friday, and
geez.
then it was one of those like, oh yeah, everything's fine. Hey, what's behind there? And then it just like it was like, oh, that was the columns that was supporting everything. Yeah, the termites got in there and just
Yeah. Hey, what if everything was on fire? Whoops.
and infested.
Yeah.
Great.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right, well, without further ado, Hannah, what have you been playing this past week, and why is it MGS5?
I'll tell you why it's MGS5 because I have a problem.
Yes. I have a
and
problem kidnapping everybody I see.
Yes, I have a fever, and the only cure is more Fulton balloons.
The only cure is Diamond Dog.
The only yes, he's the best. And I know that's probably sacrilege once you get quiet in this game, but
I'm more. We were talking about it a little bit here right before we recorded that.
Yeah,
it's interesting that I really like Quiet for the scouting she can do, and Hannah really likes DD because he's kind of right next to you, and he's always like, "Oof, hey, there's a guy over there.
Check it out, it's right there. All right, look out,
truck.
Look out.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a truck.
Hey, there's a truck coming in.
It's the play style thing.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about. We were getting some of the spoilery stuff out of our systems before we hopped on.
Talking about stuff.
Yeah, because some
secret stuff.
Because there's some stuff that happens, and there's some BS going on in my game right now.
Yeah. He's on mission 18 for everyone at home.
Is it 18 or is it 16?
Oh, I don't remember. It's
like,
Trader's Caravan.
Yeah, it's
the worst.
It's terrible, and I hate it. But I'll get over it because the game's still really great. Yeah. I finally upgraded my Fulton balloon to level 2, so I can I can just walk up behind a tank and go, "Hey, guess what? This is mine now."
My favorite thing to do is that, but when people are in it.
Yes,
and just be like, I'm getting like 4 of you guys. I'm getting a big tank.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing though is when you have Quiet as your buddy, and things just go south. She makes that problem go away really quickly.
Yeah, she just starts opening fire.
Yeah,
I mean you can turn that off because you can be like, hey, stop it.
I need a non-lethal solution for her soon. Because if I don't get one, she's going to just she's going to tank everybody.
So here's my tip for Quiet for anybody listening. There's an easy way to get her bond up or whatever it is to be able to develop the non-lethal weapon. Just go to Afghanistan in that open roam mode, and just go start taking out outposts.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter if she kills anybody, doesn't really matter if she's just scouting stuff. You can do whatever you want, and her bond level will continue to rise. And then when it matters for quests and stuff, she'll have her non-lethal sniper rifle.
Nice.
So, and then you got to get the silenced one, of course.
Yes, of course. I mean, oh god, her with a silent sniper rifle sounds amazing.
It's unfair unless enemies have helmets on. Because then
Yes.
it's just like, go shoot this thing. Ping! And it's just like, whoa, what's up? We got a sniper up there. It's like, oh, just shoot for the face. I saw what you did in that cutscene. I know you know how to shoot.
Shoot them in the face,
Yeah.
which is actually just sort of been my mantra for this whole game.
Yeah.
Every time I get caught, it's just like, face.
Yep. It's so interesting, though, because they start getting... There's this interesting push and pull in the game where you start doing a lot of headshots and they start wearing helmets.
And then you destroy the helmet depot.
Yeah, and then you destroy the helmet depot, and now they don't have helmets for a couple of missions. My other great thing, too, is if you keep shooting them in the back, then they start carrying around shields, and then you have to go knock that one out. It's this great, like, it's this great push and pull between you can't rely on the things that you really were working before. You kind of have to keep changing your play style up so that the enemies aren't... Because otherwise it'd be a little too easy, I think.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been playing. I haven't played enough of this game, but like Boston said, I am a huge fan of Diamond Dog because of the way I play this game. I scout out a little bit. I kind of just want to go in and Fulton stuff, so I sort of do like a spiral into every area I'm about to go into. So I do sort of a wide sweep on the outer edge and have DD mark everything. And then I sort of figure out my strategies. Like, okay, I got like a group of 4 here, but they're sort of marching in a line. So I'm going to sneak up behind that guy and knock him out, and then just sort of domino effect them, which is always fun. And then there's a dude in the tower. I'll hit him with a trike dart. And then there's 2 dudes on either side here, maybe, that have, they're at the guns. So I'm going to take them out last because they're barely a threat at this point.
Yeah.
I have noticed that once you get out of Afghanistan and you get into Central Africa, the soldiers get a lot smarter.
Yeah, there's kind of an escalation there.
Yeah. I'll be like 50 meters out and they'll be like, what was that? I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
I got to travel out a little further.
My favorite thing to do there, it doesn't work as well in Afghanistan, is I'll kind of spot everybody on the field, and then I'll kind of use my... I have a... have you done the side ops for the Legendary Gunsmith yet?
Yes.
Okay. So you can customize weapons?
No.
Okay. You should do the Legendary Gunsmith side ops if you have it. You might not. It might unlock right after that mission you're on.
Okay.
So what you can do is... and I really wish this game would have marked that as an important side op, but it doesn't. You do that mission, and then you can customize your weapons.
Awesome.
So you can, like right now, I have a really high level tranquilizing sniper rifle that has a 4x scope on it.
Oh.
So I'm like 200 yards away, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of find everybody in this base, and I'll put one dart into them. And then just wait until they all just kind of one by one start falling. And like 12 guys will fall all in a row, and then just do that ding ding where it says that you've completed the outpost. I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I got all of them.
A TKO, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my MGS5 pro tip of the week. Do the side ops for Legendary Gunsmith. If it doesn't show up and you're like around mission 20, you might have to do some other side ops to get it unlocked.
I could have sworn I got some sort of like legendary something or other. I think it was Gunsmith, but maybe I have to like go back to Mother Base or something.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I go back to Mother Base after I finish, 3 or 4 side ops just to see what else happens. I'm in chapter 2 now, so there's a lot of story-based cutscenes that are happening where I have to go back to Mother Base to have that stuff kick off, and then I get a bunch of other side ops to go address that stuff that happened.
Okay.
So in this game, I'm in chapter 2, and there seems to be a lot more game left. I really did not expect there to be this much game in MGS5, and it's kind of great.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. We got Fallout coming out in like what, 2 months or is it
Something like
one
that.
month?
I got Taken King coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
in
that's not
trouble.
happening. Yeah, you are in trouble. That's not happening for me.
Yeah.
I think Destiny's gonna have to
Take a
sit
little
this one
breather.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just start sending you Bungie.net codes for emblems.
There you go. As far as where I'm at, like, yeah, I'm still only on like mission 16, and I was gonna go finish that while we were trying to figure out what was going on with knobs, but then I decided to play some Nova Blitz.
Yes.
As you can see, I'm pretty big on this game.
Yeah.
I may or may not have the shirt on
Reppin' Nova Blitz.
for sure. This game is the deck building feels like Magic the Gathering.
Oh, really?
Just straight feels like building a Magic deck because it's the same card limit, 60 cards. It's the same sort of card layout, and it's the same sort of powers, and you have like, you basically have like your equivalents of like black decks, blue decks, white decks, green decks, red decks. And I just built the nice thing is, though, you can actually test your deck without having to build two decks.
Oh, that's nice. Without
yes.
having to like go in a game and be like, does this one? No, I lost.
Yeah, so they give you a bunch of basic decks. They give you some like 2 or 3 advanced decks in the most recent build. And I built out an arcane deck, which is basically a black deck that is meant to do like creature control. Like I can unsummon creatures, and I can pull creatures out of my graveyard. Well, trash rather. I think graveyard's copyright Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
But I can, like my whole thing is controlling not only my creatures but the opponent's creatures. Well, I go to play test this deck against one of the basic decks, and I very quickly realize, oh, I don't have anything for turns 2 to 4.
We're just like, well, I guess I'll just sit here.
Yeah. So basically, it was like, okay, I got some, cards that cost 1. I can do some. Sorry, that message in chat really threw me. That was
yeah,
terrible.
Somebody, every once in a while we get somebody hanging out in chat where they just throw a question where it's just like, I just read that and I know I shouldn't be flustered, but like, how does now they're
Where
direct
did you come up with
messaging
this
me.
stuff?
What
Hooray! Yeah.
You get a permanent
Anyway,
ban.
so I build this creature control deck, and I go up against a basic what they call tech deck, which is the equivalent of blue deck. And I get my butt handed to me because I can't do anything for like 3 turns.
Oh, jeez.
In the most recent build, alpha build, they actually added the ability to challenge your friends, which I haven't done yet. I only played a little bit this week. So, man, this game's really good.
That sounds super good.
It's, there's some talk of them doing things like getting rid of. So they have resource cards right now, where you basically you have to put land in your deck.
Okay.
And so there's some talk on their dev blog that's saying they're going to get rid of that, but they also let you do multicolored decks. Like, there's no real limit. It's not like Hearthstone where you can only use hunter cards in a hunter deck and you can use the neutral cards too. There's no real restrictions like that right now. So you can build a multicolor. Like I could build like a red, white, green deck, which traditionally in Magic the Gathering you can build something like that and it works. You just have to build it in such a way that you don't end up with like 10 green energy or mana and no white or red.
Right.
So it's real cool, and I'm really excited. But I'm really scared that once this is on like a tablet or something that I can bring with me all the time, that I'm not going to play anything else.
Yeah, it's always available. It's just right on your phone.
Right there.
You could be playing it right now. Why are you at work? Play Nova Blitz.
Play Nova Blitz, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
And to sort of round it out, of course, since I've been playing Nova Blitz, it has led me back to Hearthstone, which I've been playing pretty consistently. And as the other Jay-Z found out the other day, because he decided to spectate a couple of my matches, I'm not good at that game.
Yeah. I'm
There was a couple of times where he was just like, "What are you doing?"
just sending emotes as quickly as I could, just like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? Why is this happening?
and like I don't. I've just gotten back into Hearthstone. I don't know the current metagame status of it, but apparently I don't remember what I was doing wrong, but he was like, "Yeah, you just left like a bunch of damage on the table." And there was one where I caught myself. I literally just completely forgot to attack.
Oh, really?
Just
Just
yeah.
I was just hanging out.
And Binary Viking, I know you're in chat. I know this all sounds really familiar from when we used to play Magic.
Oh man. All
Oh,
roads
man.
lead to Hearthstone.
All roads lead to Hearthstone. So I've been playing and tweaking my hunter deck. I have a few basic, like it's a basic deck. I'm not spending money on this game. I'm not winning a whole lot yet. But it's really interesting to see how some of the newer cards affect my playstyle. So like, I had one game where I was going up against somebody, and it looked a little it looked a little dicey there for a minute, and I had an explosive trap secret set. Uh,
Oh.
their only method of doing damage on me was attacking me with creatures, and they came at me with one, and it set off, and that was their last two health.
Oh jeez.
It was
So good.
it's like those moments where like, yeah, I'm
Yes,
awesome.
I'm a genius at cards.
And then someone drops a legendary on like turn 3 or 4, and you're like, I'm not good enough at this game to do that.
I am freaking out right now.
Yeah. That's where fun cards like Hunter's Mark come in, where you can just go, all right, this card costs me literally nothing, and that thing has 1 HP.
Yeah.
Oh, look, everything I have can kill it now. Hooray!
Yeah, that's I think that's such a strength of Hearthstone and really good card games is when you have like when they play a card like that and you have nothing to fend against, you're just like, you know what? I had an opening, they took it, I can respect that.
Yeah,
And sometimes when they land that card and you're like, you know what? Right in my hand, I have the perfect thing to get. You feel like the perfect like MLG Hearthstone player where you're like, none are better than whoop, nope, I lost.
yeah. I will take on all comers. Oh no, go away, go away.
Yeah.
Tavern Brawl this week was actually really interesting because there's an effect on all the Hearthstone, a bunch of different Hearthstone cards called Death Rattle,
Right.
which is basically when this card is removed from play, etc. It has an effect. Well, Death Rattle in this week's Tavern Brawl happens twice on every card.
Oh no. Chaos.
Yes, complete and utter chaos. So I'm sitting there building a deck. I'm like, okay, I need something that I can do damage to my own guys with so that I can purposely trigger death rattles, and I need like death rattles that like do damage, and just I decided to go with a warlock for my death rattle deck because that just seemed, warlocks and death and
Yeah.
all that stuff. It seems right.
Yeah.
It felt right. It
It
felt
felt good.
appropriate. And I forget exactly what happened, but there's a card that can literally just launch bombs at you on death, and this guy puts out two of them,
Oh no.
and I managed to just wipe the board,
Oh jeez.
and
What have I done?
everything happened twice.
Jeez. Oh, that
Just
hurts.
utter chaos. I went down first, and that was the end of that game.
Man, Tavern Brawl was such a good idea for something that was really missing from Hearthstone. Of just, the thing that's been, um, I think the thing that's been really positive in Destiny with, the weekly strikes and nightfall strikes and all that. It's having a thing you already know, but having just a couple of things tweaked to change it in a pretty major way. I think that's really what Hearthstone needed to keep
Yeah.
people coming back for longer than maybe previously.
So there's a piece of advice from Pseudonym in chat, saying that the trick to enjoying Hearthstone is to be bad enough at it that you only get ranked with people whose decks aren't full of legendaries.
Oh yeah,
which I'm in that weird spot where I win a couple of games and then I get a couple of ranks and then suddenly I'm seeing oranges everywhere.
It puts you in the deep end where it's like, all right,
Yeah,
you have the floaters on now. We're gonna throw you in the deep end of the pool. It's just like, no, well, no, wait, no, no, that's not. I'm so sorry.
yeah.
I didn't mean to be better than I am. I lied to you, and I apologize.
I know my station.
Yeah.
I will return to there.
Keep me under rank 25. That's where I'm okay.
That's where I belong.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So that is pretty much everything I've been playing this week. I did play a little bit of I've had it on PSP for a while. Gunpei.
oh yeah.
So it's this interesting little puzzle game where it starts at the bottom and it's bringing blocks up. You're on it's not a 10 by 10 grid. It's by like a 6 by 10 grid, I think. And you can hit X or you can wait a certain amount of time, and the bottom starts to fill up with these tiles. And basically, you got like a diagonal line across it or like a crooked line in it, and you just sort of have to match the endpoints of the lines and make a full line across the level. And you can sort of stack them and build them and get these like crazy long combos. As long as your lines touch from the left to the right, it clears it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I played like a bunch of this. I forgot I had it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about this. I've wanted to try this." Really addicting. I don't think it's made for the PSP. I believe there's a DS version that I'm sure uses touch.
Probably.
That is a billion times more intuitive.
Huh. Interesting.
So I would say if you're going to check this out, I'm going to double check here really quick because I think it's on the DS. And I remember playing it on the DS, which is why I say it.
I would have sort of assumed that any puzzle game would come out PSP and DS at the same time.
Yeah. So it's Gunpei DS, Gunpey.
Yeah.
Believe it was designed by Gunpei Yokoi, but I can't.
I believe so. I think it was either designed by him or he had the core gameplay idea, and sort of someone else took it and ran from there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Really interesting. It sort of had that same, like, I kind of had that Luminous moment with it where it was just like, oh, that's what this is.
Oh, I got it. All right.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've played this week.
I played a boatload of MGS5, but
Ate it.
I don't really want to talk about too much of it because everything is a spoiler at this point, and it only released like a week ago. So
yeah,
or now 2 weeks ago, I guess. So I will say that I am really, really happy with it so far, and I think the most surprising thing that I forgot to talk about when we talked about it earlier is I honestly think it's one of the best open world games I've played.
Agreed.
And I think it's because
100%.
of the stealth. Like, when you look at a lot of the other MGS games, like, you can play a lot of 2 and you can play a lot of 4 without stealth. But you really cannot play the Phantom Pain without stealth.
Without at least a little bit. Like, you can.
Yeah, you can, but it accelerates really quickly. Where it's sort of like, oh, there's 3 dudes. No, wait, there's tanks coming in and a helicopter, and there's 20 dudes coming from other outposts. Oh, man, that's good.
I do not have enough ammo to deal with this at the moment.
Yeah. D-Voice in chat says, can we talk about the cut content thing that's popped up concerning MGS5?
We can, but let's talk around it as much as possible.
I've been trying not to read too... So I have two schools of thought about this. One is I've been trying not to read in a lot of it because I'm not sort of done with the game proper yet. And also, I keep thinking back to Peace Walker. Because Peace Walker is sort of famous where it kind of ends and you're like, okay, that sucked. Like, what was that? Like, that was kind of lame. And then through this series of really strange sets of steps that you needed to do, you could actually get the true ending, which made a lot more sense and led directly into Ground Zeroes. I sort of feel like there's going to be something like that for the Phantom Pain, because once you finish Chapter 1, they unlock a bunch of additional stuff, and I feel like kind of doing some of that stuff. You know, I wonder if that will get us some of the quote unquote cut content, or if that stuff really isn't in the game and it's just, you know, somebody found it in the PC version. I don't know. I think I'm sort of taking a wait and see approach at this point, just to kind of. I know Kojima's kind of crazy, so I wouldn't put it past him to hide the real ending behind a bunch of other, like, finish all the missions and finish all the side ops and, like, get an S rank in all the main missions, and then one last mission shows up and, you know.
Yeah, it's just Hideo Kojima, like, telling you about what the ending was supposed to be. Yeah, just him sitting in
the chair.
Yes.
If I hadn't gotten fired, here's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But the other thing I'm playing is Destiny. The big 2.0 patch came out this week, so there's a whole bunch of new stuff to do in this game.
So what have you done that's new?
So one of the bigger... I'm kind of holding off on a bunch of stuff because, like, if I was go turn in a bunch of quests and, like, level up some of the factions, I won't get rewards that are from the Taken King, because the Taken King isn't out yet. Yeah. So I'm sort of playing stuff around the edges. One of the things I liked the most is the gunsmith has reputation now. And basically what happens is he has 5 or 6, I think it's 5, quote-unquote test weapons that he has. They're all white rarity, but they do the new the year 1 maximum damage, so 170. Okay. And each gun has a bounty on it, and it's one of them is like, hey, you need to take this fusion rifle into Crucible and just kill enemies. And after you kill a number of enemies, it's full, and then you get 250 rep, and you kind of toss that weapon out. There's a sniper rifle that it wanted you to just get double kills, so you can just go, like, to Earth and just double kill a bunch of people. So that kind of stuff I think is really interesting, because it not only gives you an opportunity to play around with other weapons you might not necessarily play with, because I never use a fusion rifle in Crucible. Ever. There's never a time.
The only time I used a fusion rifle in Crucible was when I was doing the Thorn Bounty, because it was the only void weapon I had at the time, and I actually got pretty good with it.
Yeah, me too. I had like a blue fusion rifle, and I was like, well, I'll have to make do. So I think that's really interesting, and it gets you... I was just downstairs before we recorded this, and I finished my bounty for a sniper rifle that I had to take into Crucible and kill 10 enemies with. Okay. That was really tough, because I'm not great with sniper rifles in general, but I liked that the game was kind of pushing me outside of my comfort zone to say, yeah, if you want this rep, you need to go and actually do this thing that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Then once you get past rank 1, which I couldn't this week, you can order something they call an Arms Day package.
Ooh.
And you pick a gun manufacturer, and you say, I would like a gun from this manufacturer. And next week after reset, you will just get a legendary gun in your armor, in your mail.
That's awesome.
I think that's super cool.
That is super cool.
And I like the feedback loop there of being able to use all those weapons and trying them out, and that's... And, you know, they gave me... one of them was a Suros rocket launcher, which was huge and had this huge blast radius. So now that gives me something to look forward to when I pick up a Suros rocket launcher in Taken King. I won't be like, oh, this thing, toss this out. You can kind of look and say, oh, well, no, I kind of had fun with one of those.
Now, question.
Sure.
So, I know I never really mess around with a ton of weapons in Destiny. Do the brands have sort of special features per weapon, kind of like Borderlands did?
In the Taken King, they're moving more towards that way.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, where a company like Suros will usually have options between... So, you know, the Suros regime is kind of a famous year 1 exotic, where once you would level it up to a certain point... Once you were zoomed in, you would shoot a lot slower, but the impact would increase for your bullets.
Yeah.
In year two, the year two version of Suros Regime, you can either pick that option, or in the same column, you can pick the gun fires faster over time.
Ooh.
So you can kind of set it up for your playstyle.
Yeah.
That seems to be what they're going for Suros as a weapon manufacturer in year two. You get these kind of trade-offs between one playstyle and another one.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and each one of them, there's the Heka, which I think is how you pronounce it, Omelon, Tex Machina. There's a whole bunch of... they seem like they're moving more towards the Borderlands style of, oh man, I really like Suros guns. I got all my guns are Suros. I think they look cool. They all look so different from each other. I think it's a really, really cool idea. And right now they're doing a multiplayer preview for the Taken King. So they have all the Taken King maps in for everybody, even if you don't have either of the expansions. And they have the two new modes that are in there. The first one is Rift, which is you pick up a spark, which is basically just a ball, and you run it to a goal and dunk it in the goal. Okay. It's super fun. I think it's kind of like Griff Ball from Halo, but I never played that. I was always playing that thing where you carry around that skull. I thought that was more fun. I think that's a really neat mode, and that mode is a really good showpiece for the new Mercy rule in Crucible.
What is that?
So I will give you an example of when the Mercy rule kicked in today. The enemy team scored with the Rift 3 times in a row. We had 1,700 points. They had 13,000. The match was over. Oh, the Mercy rule kicked in and said, like, look, there's no way. We're not going to waste your time.
It's a slaughter rule. Basically,
yeah. Yeah, okay. And the game is just like, hey, man, look, they won.
It's like when I was 10 and I'm in Little League and it's like, they're up by 10. Let's not keep these kids here all night.
Yeah, it's hot out here. Everybody wants their orange slices. Let's just go. But the great part about it is you still get your rewards. So even if it's a minute-long match and you guys just got stomped, you're still probably going to get a bunch of strange coins and a bunch of motes of light.
Well, and the nice thing is they can probably mine some of that data and see, like, oh, these types of players seem to be on this side of that fence, and these types of players seem to be on that side of the fence, and improve their matchmaking from that.
Well, and they did some behind-the-scenes matchmaking improvement, too, where, especially in Rift, it seems like you get matched to the same team over and over. Okay. Until they stomp you, and then the game is just like, look, we're finding another team. Like, if this is unfair on one side or the other, we're gonna match you up with another six peeps here. It's going really badly.
That's awesome.
The other mode they have that they just unlocked a day or two ago is called Mayhem Clash. So it's your basic Clash, which for those at home is just 6v6 team deathmatch. But scoring is improved. Scoring is multiplied by 10. So
things go quickly.
Well, things go quickly, but the score is way higher. You're not scoring to 1,500. You're scoring to 150,000. Nice. The reason why scoring has changed is, number one, no respawn timers. Ooh. Number two, ammo crates spawn like crazy. Nice. Number three, your abilities respawn, fill up way faster. In maybe 20 seconds, you have another super.
That's amazing.
So all it is people just shooting Nova bombs and putting bubbles and just... Mayhem is the perfect name for it, because it is just... like, it's one of those modes where I spawn and somebody just golden guns me, and it's like, okay, that's fine, because I'm just going to be right back, and I'm going to have a Nova bomb.
You're not angry about it. You're just kind of like, oh, well, I guess I'll just use it next time.
Yeah, and everybody has their supers just as fast as everybody else. And it is nuts. It's so much fun.
I bet that's stressing the particle engine a little bit.
Yeah, a little chuggy. Yeah. And there's a lot of quality of life stuff that they put in. So, Hannah, I don't know if you've heard about the kiosks they put all over the tower. No. So one of the big changes they made this time is not only did they double vault space, which is fantastic.
That's beautiful.
Weapons and armor have 72 slots apiece, and then items have 36.
Okay.
But what they've done is they've put these kiosks. They look like giant iPhones all over the tower, and they hold collections. So one holds all of your shaders that you have unlocked.
Oh,
and
yay!
You can pull them out for free at any time.
Oh, everyone's been begging for that.
Yeah,
that's so
they
nice.
have one for ships, shaders, emblems, and sparrows. And it's so great because they didn't increase vault space for things, just normal inventory by much, because you're not hoarding all these shaders where it's like, well, I can't get that back, and this one's super cool, but I'm full on this character. Yeah. You have all of that stuff.
That's beautiful. Oh God, you are making me want to play Destiny, and I'm not a fan of that. Yes. I have things to do.
Well, the great part now is I have all of the raid shaders from year one because I finished all the raids on my Warlock, and now I can give that to my other characters that haven't even played the raid. Now we can sort of shuffle this stuff between all these characters. Now I don't have to carry around all these weapons and all this unnecessary stuff. And then there's two other kiosks. One is for exotic weapons, and one is for exotic armor. And they do a similar thing, but there's a cost to pull out weapons. Okay. There's a new currency where they had the Vanguard and Crucible marks before, and now that's all consolidated to legendary marks.
Oh, cool.
Those are shared between characters now. You can hold 200 at a time, but there's no limit on how many you can get in a week.
Oh, okay.
So you want to just spend, your whole week farming 600 because you got stuff to do. It's even better. And if you want Crucible gear, but you really hate playing the Crucible, you get legendary marks from doing PvE stuff, and then you can buy Crucible gear.
That's awesome. That solves so many problems.
It's really good. And then the cool part about the let me just ban this. There you go. All right. The cool part about having those two kiosks for exotic stuff is they're working on a blueprint system now.
Okay.
So basically,
oh God, I gotta get blueprints in this game too.
No, so it's really positive, and blueprints is really the wrong word, unfortunately. Okay. So it's basically, let's say you picked up Suros Regime in year one. Now you have the blueprint for Suros Regime, and any of your characters can go into the weapons kiosk and just pull out a Suros Regime. It won't be leveled, but it'll cost you like 100 or 125 legendary marks.
Wow.
Pull out another Suros Regime. If you have a year one blueprint that has a year two equivalent, you already own the year two weapon. You just have to pay the marks to pull that out. So I already can pull out the Vader Suros Regime because I already, quote unquote, own the blueprint because I found it in year one.
Yeah.
So that to me is already like, it's already crazy because, number one, I don't have to have super good advice sitting in my vault anymore. I hate that weapon and I will never use it. But I still, quote unquote, have it because I have the blueprint in my exotic weapon blueprint vault.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to have it rocking around.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's unfortunate that they took so much time to sort of get this stuff in here because year one could have really used that.
But this is such an innovative solution to this problem because the problem results from this marriage of FPS and MMO, and FPS players just want to keep their weapons. They want to keep those same weapons, those weapons that they're used to, those weapons that they've become very fond of. That's what you do in an FPS. You pick your favorite weapon and you learn how to use it really well.
Yeah.
And you keep it and you just use it. But MMO players are like, no, I don't want to keep my old weapons. I want to replace this, orange weapon with some new greens and blues that are way more powerful.
Yeah. And the collector in me is like, well, I see all of this stuff. I have to have all of it. Like, I want to have all of the emblems and shaders now. Like, I want to have every single thing that is in that game just so I can look at it and say, yeah, I got all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that you talk about. I won't cover it too much because it's addressing the meta. They really changed up every single weapon type in this game.
Yeah.
Some got hit with a nerf really hard, like hand cannons.
Yeah, that makes me nervous. I really liked my hand cannons.
You'll probably be okay if you never sniped with Thorn.
That's a problem then. That's a real big problem.
Yeah, that's really what they're getting out of is sniping with Thorn or Hawkmoon or any of these guns that a hand cannon is supposed to be short, mid to or close to middle range, and people were just 100 yards away, just getting headshots.
That was my favorite thing because I would snipe with it so that I wouldn't even go for the head. I would tag an enemy so that I could see that damage, and when I got up close, finish them off.
Yeah, and they changed that dot too.
Does like the bullet drop or does it just stop?
They changed there's a damage drop off. You might still hit them with it, but it might do 10 damage because you're 300 yards away. Or if the range is really low, the bullet just drops completely.
Yeah.
So they've changed almost every weapon type in this game, and it's really great because you're able to go into the Crucible and see people using Mida Multi-Tool. They're using fusion rifles. They're not using, Ephrodite's Spear and Fellwinter's Lie all the time anymore. You still see people that are doing that, but once Tuesday hits and the new guns that are out do nearly double the damage of the Year 1 guns, that'll go away pretty quickly.
Yes.
But yeah, there's so much about Destiny that was wrong in Year 1, and they launched this huge 18 gig patch and just kind of said, all right, you had a problem with that? Fixed it.
I'll have to download that, aren't I?
It's big.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But thankfully, that patch is the Taken King.
Oh,
so
nice.
once Tuesday comes, they're launching a tiny little patch just to unlock everything, and then you already have it.
Nice.
So kind of excited to go back to Destiny a little bit more. I haven't really been playing it a lot because there wasn't a ton of stuff to do in the House of Wolves.
Yeah.
And what there was to do in there wasn't always the most fun. So it's kind of nice to see that they've really attacked a lot of that stuff. And I kind of like the new Ghost voice.
Yeah, I gotta hear that.
It's different.
Okay.
And I kind of like, to me it's more optimistic. It's a little bit more curious. And I think that's kind of fun for that character. There are some lines that I think Peter Dinklage delivered on a little bit better. Mostly like the famous "We've woken the hive" line.
Yeah.
I think Nolan North did a not great job with that. But I don't know if you can ever beat that because of how ingrained it is in Year 1 Destiny players' minds.
Well, and there's also a volume thing with that particular line. It was about 1 billion decibels louder than everything happening.
Yeah, I haven't played the one strike where it's a cell from the Prison of Elders. I haven't played that strike yet, so I'm curious to see if they rebalance that audio or not.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So, between those two games, that's all I've played this week. So let's take a break.
Cool. Stretchy, stretch.
It's so hot in here.
I'm actually quite comfortable because it's very, very chilly outside. Well, it was when I was outside at one point today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take the dog out at some point.
God, we need air conditioning so badly.
Yeah.
Stupid California.
Yep. All right, let's see. Oh, God. That comes out this week?
So many
Yay.
news stories. I will do releases.
Cool.
Oh, and anybody watching video or in chat that is interested in getting back into Destiny but didn't play the first 2 expansions and doesn't own them, GameStop has a trade-in program where you can trade in your original vanilla Destiny and get the legendary edition of The Taken King, which is Destiny, the first 2 expansions, and The Taken King, for $20 off.
Oh, how much is it? 60 normally?
It's 60 normally, yeah.
Maybe that's not worth
Or
it
if you
then.
just want the Taken King and you have all the other stuff, it's a
Uh-huh.
$40 just digital download.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
paying the same amount either way.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice thing. I mean, normally I'm not like, hey, rush out to GameStop, but this time, hey, rush out to GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, if you don't
Koshamal
own it.
says, so seriously, nobody playing Mad Max? I will probably buy it at some point. Um, I that seems like a game I would like. I
I've heard so much about it that I don't like that I'm
Yeah.
skipping it in favor of Metal Gear because they're both open world games. And like I liked the new Mad Max movie, but it's fine.
Yeah, it seems like that one of those games where I'll probably pick it up once there's a once there's kind of a lull and I can pick it up for, even $40 and say, "Oh yeah, I'm waiting for an open world game," but after MGS5, it's probably going to be a while before I want another open world game.
Same
Until
here. It
Fallout 4, I
is
guess.
well, yeah. I mean, Fallout 4 is a very different style of open world. It's an open
Yeah.
world RPG.
Yeah. Spend a lot more time in there.
I don't know. Yeah, I just
All right, you ready to finish this thing up?
yes, yes, I am.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about U.S. releases for the week of September 14th, 2015. Forza Motorsport 6 coming out for Xbox One. That really snuck up on me.
Yeah, it came
Did
out
not
on.
know that was coming out. Boy, that game looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
1080p, 60 frames. Beautiful
Drive a
cars.
tower.
Yeah. I should probably play more Forza Horizon 2, though, because that game's really good, too.
Yeah.
As we were talking about mere minutes ago, Destiny is Taken King coming out for PS3, PS4, 360, and Xbox One. You already know if you're going to buy it or not.
Yes.
Nothing I
Yeah.
can say is like, hey, oh, great, Destiny is suddenly a brand new game where I'm not, has story and all. I don't know yet. It's not Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know. And last but certainly not least,
Yes.
Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows coming out to all existing platforms for free.
Yep.
Free update for Shovel Knight where you get to play as Plague Knight.
Yep.
And it
I'm
looks
totally gonna do that.
way different.
Yeah.
That looks like a really crazy movement system that they have put in place for Plague Knight. And
I'm super pumped.
excited.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to news stories. Sad / unfortunate / unsurprising news. Xbox Live Indie Games is shutting down.
Such a bummer.
Yeah, that was such a beautiful experiment that
It was.
never really came out with very much stuff that wasn't crazy. But man, I appreciated that nearly anybody could put out a game on the Xbox 360.
Yep.
For good or for bad, we got a lot of really good games on there.
We got a lot of like zombie games on there too.
Yeah, I mean, we also got I Made a Game with zombies in it, which
Yep.
was great.
Mm-hmm.
But man, there were a couple of really great games on there, sort of accidentally, that
Yeah.
also came on Steam later, and the rest of it was just. The other GZ in chat calls it a wasteland. Yeah, I mean, it was such a cool idea, but getting positive stuff out of there or getting it curated at all was just a nightmare.
It was, but when you found something really good like Cursed Loot or God, there was another one.
Nods' favorite Baby Maker Extreme.
Yes, that was a good one. When you actually found something good, the thing I'm worried about is the good games that exist on there and only on there, and there's a handful of them, and we're gonna lose access to them, and that's a bummer.
I hope they go over to Steam. I hope
I
they
hope so too.
get put in at least Steam Greenlight, where people will be like, "Oh yeah, I'll vote for that. I remember playing that. That was pretty good."
Well, and a lot of that implies that the developer would have to do something, and there's places where the developer just doesn't exist anymore.
Right, or it was just like a dude or a woman just like sitting in their office just making a game. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I made this thing. Oh, people like it. Okay.
I should probably hit up the developer of Cursed Loot and be like, "Hey, now that this is shutting down, you should totally port this."
Yeah, I hear Steam is catching on.
Oh yeah.
Next news story, the guy who made Gary's Mod is making a virtual reality focused sequel,
Ooh.
which to me is probably the biggest selling point for virtual reality I can think of.
That's ooh, wow. You're gonna be able to do some weird stuff in that.
Mm-hmm. And to me, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No real news there. Just sort of
Just sort of like
let your brain go.
let your brain go, and you're just gonna see all the crazy, crazy, crazy stuff that you saw from Gary's mod. But now it's in 3D and it's right here.
The other Jay-Z says, because Gary's mod wasn't already terrifying enough. Yes. Just think about it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Nintendo announces an augmented reality MMO coming out for mobile devices called Pokemon Go.
Yes.
I'm just going to let that sentence sit there for a minute because it's the opposite of what Nintendo usually does. Okay. So basically, you're going out in the real world and playing an AR game on your phone where you capture Pokemon in the real world, a lot like that Google April Fool's joke from last year.
And it was built by the Ingress team.
Yes, who Niantic Incorporated?
Yes.
Yeah. This is 100% not a game for me, but I think it sounds super crazy, and I think it sounds super cool.
Yes.
I'm very curious to see where that eventually goes and what it eventually is. Because if they put, like, how many Pokemon are we up to now? About 19,000? If they put all 25,000 Pokemon in that game, how long do you have to go around Chicago to get your 53,000 Pokemon? I don't...
You just got to walk around Grant Park like 5 or 6 times and then head over to Millennium Park because there's a legendary underneath the bean.
I hope.
Yeah. I mean, there would have to be.
And yeah, I mean, Chicago's tourism board would probably say, yes, there is a legendary Pokemon under the bean. Please visit
Chicago. And his name
Chicago.
is Mike Ditka.
Yeah. Heyo. I think that sounds really interesting, and I'm not super excited about that game itself, but I'm very excited about Nintendo doing something that they have insisted they don't want to do and aren't going to do. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's just like, hey man, here's a mobile Pokemon game and it's also in the real world. So we'll see.
Sounds really cool.
Apple TV is getting a refresh here. Apple had a press conference. We typically don't talk about Apple press conferences for the obvious reasons. But they're announcing a new Apple TV that is getting a gaming remote that is basically the Wiimote.
Yeah.
In a really surprising way, where the company that has not said that they really care about games is now kind of making a Wii. And that's really weird.
It's super weird, and I just don't care.
Well, what's interesting is, one, it seems like it's way behind the times.
Yes, 100%, which is, I mean, for Apple is weird, but for Apple in gaming is just right on the mark.
Yeah. Also, what I think is really funny is so many companies saying, toss out your Xbox, the new Apple TV is coming. And it's like, this is a different market. Like, this thing is going to play iOS games, which is inherently a different market, if not a market that has a small slice of a Venn diagram that meets with PS4 and Xbox One gamers.
Yes.
They showed off Crossy Road and a Harmonix, basically... Wii Sports game that they're coming out with for this thing, and then they kind of moved right on. Yeah. And give it about 5 minutes. So it's kind of not really their focus, but it's also like, hey man, if you're one of them gamers, go crazy, I guess. And swing
have fun, guys.
Look like an idiot.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, and Coach Jamal in chat wraps it up quickly. Sounds like the Ouya. Yep.
Yeah, Apple's attitudes toward gaming have always been sort of just really condescending and really just not with the times at all.
And at arm's length too, where it's like, I'll take your money, but you guys are weird.
Yeah, like just they don't want to be associated with it. It's just, they're just no, just don't, guys.
I have found you to be wanting, Apple.
Yes.
Next news story here. It's 2015, so Fallout 4 is getting a season pass. I'm not mad about that. They also Bethesda also mentions they have no idea what's going to be in it.
Hooray!
I don't know whether or not I'm upset at that or I applaud their honesty. I think it's kind of both.
A little bit of both. It's kind of like Loot Crate. It's like, yeah, we're going to send you a box. There's going to be some stuff in it. We don't know what.
For $30 for a season pass, though, are you making a bunch of weapons or are you making, like, Fallout 3 style experiences? You know, which am I getting?
If you're getting Fallout 3 style experiences, you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. Actually, you're losing money by not buying it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think I kind of applaud them, though, because it's frustrating. I'm so torn about it. I don't want to encourage this, but it's kind of nice to see a developer and a publisher say, like, yeah, look, we're making a season pass, we're making DLC. We just don't know what it is, and we're not going to lie to you. We won't be like, oh man, buy this season pass on launch. You can save so much money. We're going to put out 4 packs. Oh, and there's going to be so great, and there's going to be like maps, and there's going to be all this stuff. And then it comes out, and it's like weapon packs. You know, it's like, I kind of appreciate that up front they're being like, hey man, I don't even know. Instead of later being like, you know, we really bit off more than we could chew. Tried to make all this DLC, and it just didn't happen. But thanks for your money. See you later. You know, I'm so torn. Bethesda.
Yeah, I like Bethesda. That's a little crazy. I mean,
the nice part is I'm going to err on the side of caution and just not buy it.
Yeah. I mean, you can always buy the season pass later.
Yeah, like if the first 2 DLC packs come out and they're reviewed really well and everything seems great, and let's say they're going to come out with 4, all right, you know, let's assume it's a couple months later, and, you know, the first 2 are really great. It's probably easy enough to drop $30 and be like, well, the first couple of Fallout 3 pieces of DLC weren't great, but the last couple were really good, so, you know, maybe it'll be good at the end.
Yeah, the other Jay-Z in chat makes a very good point. Fallout DLC is generally good, but there's always a bad one in the bunch. Yeah, there's always that one bad apple.
Yeah, so... speaking of non-bad apples, I'm really trying to contain myself here. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is coming to PC in January.
What?
So excited! $30. That's such a deal. This game is so good.
Yeah,
everybody needs to go play this game. Have you ever wanted to climb a dragon and stab it in its throat? You can do that in Dragon's Dogma like really early.
I mean, I could go do that outside.
Oh, it's so good. And the worst part about it being on the 360 and the PS3 is it was way too big of a game. It was way too much of a game for those platforms. And now it's coming in the place where it's supposed to. And I hope that... I know it's going to have a really rough launch, and I hope Durante just fixes this game like he does with every other Capcom game.
Yeah.
You apply this mod, and then it turns out to be really great. Oh, I'm so excited.
I love that there's one dude that's just sitting there going like, all right, Capcom, what do you got?
Just put it out. I got you.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Dragon's Dogma is amazing. It is if Skyrim had a fun battle system.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, when you put it in terms like that, that makes me really want to go install it and play it on my PS3.
Just wait a couple months. By January, you'll be done with Fallout, maybe. You'll be done with MGS5, probably.
Yeah.
You'll be ready to fight some wyverns. Wyverns?
Wyverns?
You'll be able to fight some griffins.
Yeah, I can just have, you know, the child on my lap and be like, okay, now this is a Capcom game. We're going to need to mod this.
So to be fair, it's still a Capcom game, so it's weird. It has a crazy story that makes you work for it in the end.
Yeah.
Once you get to the point where stuff goes really south in this game, you have to look up a guide because the way to actually get to the ending is really obtuse. The other GC says griffins and wyverns are not the same thing. I know. Everything's fine.
It's all
Fantasy
right.
flying things. Dragon.
Yes.
I know how to pronounce dragon.
Yes.
And last but not least, StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void launches November 10th. I thought I would
Yay.
have Knobs here. I thought he'd be excited about it.
I'm
I'll send
pretty
him a
excited
Kickstarter.
about that. I like the Protoss. I just am really, really bad at RTS games.
I just never finished the second expansion. I should do that at some
You should
point.
probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, I love StarCraft. I'm amazed they haven't especially after they got bought by Activision. I'm amazed that they didn't just go screw it, World of StarCraft.
Yeah.
It's sort of a miracle, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. But at the same time, missed opportunity.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to report a couple of tweets here. A couple people sending me tweets to ask me about UK road safety.
Ooh,
Don't care, guys. Blocked his
super,
spam.
super simple stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to tweets here.
Eats.
Ivan Incubus writes in and says, "Do you guys think that God Eater 2 will ever come to the West? Played tons of the first one on the PSP, which is a great game, by the way. I don't know. That seems like a game that would kind of get announced very suddenly and have like a digital-only release.
Yeah.
I think the first one did fairly well, but I don't think it did as well on the PSP as basically all parties involved were expecting.
Well, I mean, you just said the key word there. It was on the PSP, so it didn't do great here.
Yeah, and I think, you know how Sony does every once in a while with an RPG? On like the PSP or the Vita, they'll say, "This is the one, gamers. Play this one if you love games." And everyone goes, no, that game looks weird. Or it comes out and it's kind of Monster Hunter-y. And it's sort of like, well, that's confusing, and I don't have friends with a Vita. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Coach Jamal in chat says, Sony does what Sony does. Yeah.
Yeah, they
we
really
can't predict
do.
it.
Nope.
Worked out with the PS4 so far.
Yeah,
Didn't work
surprisingly.
with the last two platforms. All right, let's move on to emails.
Emails?
Old Emu wrote in a couple weeks ago, right before the Phantom Pain came out, with almost some beat poetry here about the
boy.
impending Phantom Pain. Especially with Knobs not being here, this is a perfect time because Hannah and I really like Metal Gear Solid.
And I'm cool with beat poetry too.
Okay, that's even it's even another vote in Old Emu's corner here. So he writes in, "This is Emu. We're 7 days away from the Phantom Pain. I remember playing the PSX demo disc for MGS on a modest tube television over and over and over again.
Same here.
I played that game on probably like a 10-inch screen.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So do you, and so does your friend. Yes. We're 7 days from seeing it all. L'Enfant Terrible, the birth of my childhood hero, your childhood hero, an old killer. We're 7 days away from seeing it all go down. The hard questions and the hard answers, the harder questions and the even harder answers. Who am I? Who are we to care so much about the fake people and fake things? Why?
Nanomachines.
Yeah, that's always the answer. Because they are real friends and real memories, and it's only on the battlefield they are truly alive. But we still think about them, all of them, a lot. We're 7 days from seeing it all go. My hero always was, always will be." Thank you for that entry, Old Emu.
I feel like Old Emu is actually a Metal Gear boss in disguise.
I feel like he's actually Kojima.
Yes.
That was the pitch for MGS5. It's just Kojima in one of those
With
little
bongos.
hats.
Just
Yeah, just in front of the stakeholders being like, "Our heroes, they're alive on the battlefield!" And they're just like, "Oh, how much money do you need? Fine. If it'll get you to go away and take off that hat, just get out. Just go." Man. He writes a second email here. He says, email 2, Fox Alive. He says, "Okay, on the reels, that last email choked me up pretty hard. I got the misty eyes and had to leave the room. Permit me to lighten the mood. My son Joel, parenthetically, by the way, I totally named him after The Last of Us, is turning 1 very soon. I'd like to invite any members who will be near Chicago on October 3rd. Austin Mayboy 128 is already flying from Texas to attend, and both the Hannah and Jay-Z have already been noticed via text. Those of you rowdy reprobates what are interested in the details, please PM me, Old Emu, on the forums. Thank you guys for a great show and for a great place to share all my stuff, Steven.
Yep.
So, yes. I'm hoping for him that the Phantom Pain is living up to his lofty and poetic expectations.
To my understanding, it is.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I like Old Emu. He's a stand-up guy.
He's good people. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the other GZ trolling the chat hard. All right, Robert C. writes in with a question. He says, "Hey guys, I'm a long-time listener, first-time emailer." He's a first-time email, so, you know. Congratulations on your new
job.
Yeah, so write in more. I have a question for you all. Recently, Jimmy Kimmel made fun of the new YouTube gaming channel on his show, as well as Let's Players. It's caused a lot of upset within the gaming community. This included people sending death threats to Jimmy Kimmel, his wife, and his kids. Firstly, what do you think of Jimmy making fun of Let's Players? Do you think it's a touchy subject, or is it something he should... Sorry, this is a red message that came up on E1M1. I was like, wait, what? Do you think it's a touchy subject, or is it something he should have been able to talk about without any backlash? He has another question that deals with the backlash, so we won't really talk about that yet. This is the part that I have such a hard time understanding. Is it's like Gamergate has never ever seen a late night stand-up host.
Yeah.
Because they grab the headlines and they go, I don't understand this thing. Kids, right? Oh,
yes.
He's old. That's crazy. You know, like, I don't understand what people aren't understanding about a comedian making fun of something. They made fun of everything. Like, after that, they might have made fun of bananas and cruise ships. Like, it's just... They're just hitting the high points here.
Gaming is entering the mainstream in a really weird way, and gaming has sort of taken a weird left turn in the past few years. Like, the Let's Play thing and the Twitch streaming, and all of this is unfamiliar territory for gamers who've been around for a while and for the public at large.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've all... I remember when Resident Evil 4 came out, I had a bunch of friends over. We're playing it. We're doing silly stuff with the game, but they were watching me play.
Yeah.
And it's not an unheard of thing. It's not what you would normally do. You don't watch video games, you play them. That's the whole point of video games. It seems so
antithetic to the experience we have grown up with, where it's like, but I'm not playing the game.
Yeah, and when you have, a big figure like this who takes a shot at them, and you have a community that is as notoriously vitriolic as some of the gaming community can be...
Yeah, the vocal minority.
Yeah, of course you're going to have some sort of backlash. Jimmy Kimmel can make fun of whatever he wants. He can comment on whatever he wants, whether or not he's right, whether or not he's wrong. It's not a big deal. Like, he didn't make some horrific joke. He poked fun at something he doesn't quite understand, and that's okay.
Yeah, and most of his comments have boiled down to, why would you watch somebody play a game?
Yeah, and he doesn't understand it.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I didn't understand it for a while. But now I'm watching Giant Bomb East play Until Dawn because I'm a wuss and I can't play that game myself because I get too scared. But now I'm going to watch these three grown men get scared on my behalf, and everybody has a great time.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to see this community, not the E1M1 community. You guys are fantastic. To see the gaming community at large again have a knee-jerk reaction to something that they don't understand, and then just start blanketing death threats.
Yeah.
It's like this...
Don't do that!
This arms race to, like, who can threaten, a wife and child fastest. Yeah, I got it. It's just...
Yeah.
The other GZ in chat says, people in general need to learn to take a joke. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. 100%.
If you are offended by a joke, that's okay.
Yes, you can be offended. Just
shut your mouth about it.
Yeah.
He says, secondly, when backlash like this happens, parenthetically, and it's been happening an awful lot, let's not kid ourselves, what can we as gamers do to curb the anger? I really hate the fact that gamers are being painted as violent and non-rational people. I'm a gamer, and that's definitely not who I am. Thanks for the great podcast. I think the only thing that combats this stuff is education. And this one is really easy. Comedians make jokes, and sometimes they're going to do it at your expense. But they're also going to make fun of if Jimmy Kimmel was coming up month after month, year after year, spending the entirety of the beginning, like that stand-up part of his show, just dressing down gamers for months, that at some point we should go, hey man, come on, man. Like, can we talk? Can we be cool? Like, who beat you up? Yeah. What video game beat you up? Like, but the dude makes one 30-second joke, and everybody's ready to firebomb his offices. You can't do that. That makes us look like children.
Yes, and that's the unfortunate thing. The thing I have discovered is the best to me. Model the behavior. If you want someone to act a different way, act that way yourself.
Yep.
In certain cases where non-action is sort of the go-to, maybe not the best way to do it. Maybe call it out.
Sure. Just be like, hey man, that wasn't cool.
Yeah, just be like, hey, that's really dumb. Don't do that. Move on.
The other Jay-Z in chat has a really good point, and it's usually what we say when we're saying vote with our wallet. If you don't like the Jimmy Kimmel joke, don't watch his show. The other Jay-Z says vote with your eyes. Yes. If you don't think that was funny, don't watch his show. Don't threaten to kill his wife and child. That is an escalation that should never happen.
No.
He's not a mass murdering despotic warlord
that we know of. Let's be fair here.
I mean, there's always a chance.
Yeah.
Nobody sue us. I'm not saying that.
We're not saying that.
Yeah. Allegedly. So just be cool. Lead by example. Hannah has a really good point. Lead by example. Just be cool. If I haven't even seen the joke. I've seen the transcript from the joke. It wasn't very funny because I don't find Jimmy Kimmel very funny. Yeah. And that's okay. But I'm not going to say, hey, that wasn't very funny. Don't go to sleep tonight. Like, that's not. To be clear again, I'm not saying that. But that's the sort of escalation that we cannot do.
Afford. No, we really just...
Everybody be cool. Everybody take a breath. It's just video games. It is not war. Everything is okay.
Video games.
Right. Love does blossom on the battlefield, but only virtually.
Yes.
Zach B writes in, hey everyone. Hey there.
Hey.
If each member of the podcast could recommend one game to another that they know the other members haven't played but might enjoy, what game would it be? For example, what game would Knobs recommend to Boston that he knows Boston hasn't played but yet might enjoy? The Hannah, and vice versa. Normally I would say Dragon's Dogma. Yeah. But I feel like that's cheating.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, you go first, because I gotta think about yours. Yeah, no, same here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to say... See, it's hard, because I really want to say Steins Gate. Because I know you haven't played very many visual novels, if any at all, or like 999 and Virtue's Last Reward, and I feel like that would be a really great introduction to that entire genre, which
and
most
it's on the
people,
Vita.
Yeah, and it's on the Vita, and most people don't have any exposure to that genre at all, and I think it's great. Reading books is great, and it's a digital book. You get a platinum for reading a book. Boom.
Yeah. That's That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start.
A little bit of time there.
Yeah, I mean, you've played like anything I would normally recommend you've probably at least tried.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
What shirt are you wearing?
I'm wearing Nova Blitz, and I think everyone should play that. Maybe you should play Nova Blitz.
You can find out more at novablitz.com. Probably.
Yes, you can.
novablitz.com. All right.
Nova Blitz really is great. I would recommend that. I would say, I don't know if you've played it, but Lara Croft Go?
I have not.
That's a great one as well. Hold on, there was one. Actually, no. I know a couple of games, and these are more archaeological, historical games. Like not like actual games about archaeology or history, but these are like gaming archaeology. Go out and download and find, and it's not a good game, but it was a game I played a ton of in the early 2000s in high school. It's called Well of Souls.
Well of Souls. I've heard of it.
It
I'm
is.
writing it down.
It's an MMO kind of, but it's all sprite based, and the art's really terrible.
Okay.
And it's just sort of interesting to look at what sort of it's like an indie game before indie games were a thing.
Right.
And then there's another one called Dink Smallwood
Okay.
for the PC. I think it's also available on Android. I don't know about iOS. But it was this sort of Zelda-style RPG that had sort of... I remember it being funny, but I was like 14.
Right. So virtually anything is funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend both of those just as sort of a window into what sort of crazy stuff I was playing. And if you have the patience for it, Earth Siege 2.
Earth Siege 2. Yipes.
Earth Siege 2.
What a title.
So that was sort of it's a mech game. So you're customizing your mech, you're climbing in your mech, you're killing other mechs. Me and my best friend at the time played this game, and we played it to what we thought was completion. We got to the last mission, and apparently we did something in the game that caused an insta fail on the last mission.
Great.
And I don't know what. Yeah, it was crazy. But I remember having a really good time with that game. And it's actually a little, because it's so sparsely populated, because it's so old, it's actually kind of Oh, excuse me. That was...
Well, almost lost it there. Whew.
Yeah.
Show's going on too long.
It's kind of creepy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
sort of
Because it's just
empty.
a barren wasteland.
Yeah, and you're sort of like, I don't like this. It's almost uncomfortable.
Yeah. Speaking
So-
of playing games to completion, did you see that news story about N++ this week?
No.
So, basically, a whole bunch of people have finished this game. There's hundreds of levels, and
Yeah.
these N+ MLG players. They're not really MLG. They have just played the crap out of this game. I guess one guy noticed on the first couple of levels, when you die in a certain way, there's a snippet of code in the background.
Really?
And when you start figuring out the codes, you figure out when you beat each level in a certain way. There was one where, like, you have to die to all of the mines but not pick up any gold. It
Okay.
unlocks a secret level version of some of those levels.
That's amazing.
So now nobody knows how many levels are in this game.
Oh, man.
Which is crazy. I love the developer. It must be so crazy to be the developer, just being like, coming into work where it's like, did anybody find it yet? Oh, no. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, man, they're going to be so excited. There's like 3,000 more levels. They just haven't found it yet.
Did N+, that came out for PS4, not Vita, right?
I don't recall.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, it would be great on Vita. If
Yeah.
not, you have remote play at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Not as great for some specific platforming like that.
Oh, actually looking at the PS blog, the developer commented on it and said they would love to put it on Vita.
Let me suspect their message. Oh, thanks for writing in. We'd really love to put it on the Vita, but it wasn't our primary platform when we were developing the game. Let us know if you'd like to see it on there.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, it's basically if
Ding,
it
ding.
sells well on the PS4, we hope to be able to port it to PS4.
So it's never coming out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, Vita Viking.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll get over it. I always do.
All right, one last email here from Jimbo J. I don't want to say his last name. I'm assuming it's a pen name. Not sure. Hey, TVGP, Jimbo here in Denver. I've been binge listening the last few days to catch up on episodes I've missed because I had to shut myself off from games for a while and do some boring adult stuff.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Yeah. On the last podcast, a listener wrote in, where was the strangest place you have played games? I believe one answer was next to a pool. I have a similar question. What was your most memorable gaming moments, and where was it? Good memories and bad ones count as well. I wrote you guys before and told you about the time me and my buddies rented a cargo van with generators and played Halo 2 camped outside Best Buy waiting for the 360 launch. That's a good memory. I remember that one because that was a fun email.
Yeah.
However, one not-so-good memory that will stick with me happened in late September 2001. My aunt recently passed away in her Denver home. The house went up for sale closely after her death. I lived there alone till the house had closed. Guys, that place was haunted. I didn't believe in that stuff until I spent 2 horrifying weeks there. Doors would open, lights turn off and on, things would fly off the counter. My friends thought they were crazy, and they were right. I came up with the idea that on the night of September 25th, we would pick up the new Silent Hill 2 and play it in an actual haunted house.
Oh, no.
No. After a few hours of playing, around 2:30 a.m., you're breaking every horror movie rule in this, by the way.
Yes.
Stuff happened. I won't go into details because this email is long enough already. But what happened in that house was very real, and me and my friends still talk about the craziness that happened 14 years ago.
Wow.
We joked about playing PT in an abandoned insane asylum that's in the mountains here in Colorado.
No!
It's actually the location that takes place in Outlast. That's a real place an hour from me. Anyways, best and worst scariest moments, guys. Love the show. What?
Okay, so I will share my Silent Hill memory. I played Silent Hill 2 when it came out for the Xbox. I played it on the original Xbox because I'm a monster. Right. Well, actually, it was because that was also basically the same as the greatest hits version on the PS2, which had a bunch of fixes and different things in it. And one of those things that was in it was, do you remember the dog ending for Silent Hill 2?
One?
Yes.
Yes.
I played through Silent Hill 2. I've played through it once, and the only ending I've ever gotten was that ending.
I mean, you can't top it.
You really can't. It was like 4 in the morning. I was playing it. It was just sort of like I'm in my parents' living room and I'm playing it, and Coach Jamal's complaining about spoilers in chat, and just know that game's like a decade old.
If anybody wants to see it, look it up on YouTube. It's just Silent Hill 2 Shiba Inu. Just search for that, and it's
basically
beautiful.
It's the equivalent of like the Wayne's World Scooby-Doo ending, where it's like you find out it's all just a ruse. Yeah. And a Shiba Inu has been just hiding in the control room the whole time, scaring you, pulling switches and levers. And it was 4 in the morning. I had been playing for hours and hours and hours and hours, and my brain broke.
It just snapped.
I didn't know what was happening. I waited for I treated it like a Metal Gear game at that point. I just waited for the credits to roll and for something to happen, and no, it was just like, hey, do you want to play again?
No, it happened.
That is one of the most, that is a gaming memory that I will simply never forget because of the sheer strangeness of it. One of my other favorite stories is from when myself, Binary Viking, White Rabbit, and a bunch of us used to play World of Warcraft together. I played a hunter. I specialized in marksmanship when that was still a thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really go after, there's a lot of, chasing after legendary pets that were really good, and, you want to have this specific pet because it has this specific ability, and it, ups your DPS. This was before, power gaming became a really big deal in WoW.
Yeah.
So I, at level 23, had the great idea to get my pet in, what was that? The swamp area, Metathil Harbor.
Oh, right.
And so I decided I had the best idea for a pet after I saw a crocolisk for the first time. I was going to have a crocolisk and name him Dundee.
Perfect.
Because
this stuff writes itself.
Because of course that's what you name your crocolisk.
Right.
And so I did that, and I kept him through level 70. After the expansion.
Dundee was the best, buddy.
He was the worst. We would try and get groups together for some of the old 10-man dungeons, like Lower Blackrock Spire and Upper Blackrock Spire.
Lubers and Ubers, as I call it.
Lubers and Ubers, yes. Oh, I'm glad somebody else called it Ubers. Oh, man.
I just love calling it. Hey, guys, want to run Lubers?
And there's a part in Upper Blackrock Spire where you can skip a whole bunch of stuff by just jumping down off of
Yeah,
a ledge.
you just hop off a ledge.
Well, one of the things that you're supposed to do before you do something like that, generally a pet will follow you when you do something like that.
Yes.
Apparently, the pathfinding code on Crocolisks wasn't great because I would hop down and Dundee would be like, "Hey, be there in a sec. I'm gonna bring some friends."
Yeah, I'm gonna bring every enemy in the dungeon.
And he would hiss because Crocolisks made this really like just kind of like noise.
Yeah. Hey.
And he would go, "I'll be there in a second," and just runs all through all of these dudes. And once your pet has aggro, you can't dismiss them. And just killed. I wiped so many Upper Blackrock Spire groups doing that. Like it was at least two. It was probably more.
The other Jay-Z in chat says they despawn these days if you get too far because of jerk hunters like you.
They do.
Hey, all
as
of us
well
hunters have made that mistake where it's like, I'm just gonna hop down. I forgot to put my pet away. I'm just gonna leave. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna feign death because I can do that.
Forgot about that. Where it's like, you guys are gonna be fine. I'm gonna pass out for a minute. Oh my god, you guys died.
Oh no, what happened?
So weird. What happened? Oh no. D-Voice in chat says at least two, probably 231 times.
At least, like I said, I'm not good at video games. I just really like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are two of my most treasured memories. That and playing Halo in my friend Steve's garage for years and years and years.
I have two quick memories because I am dying in here. It's so hot. First one was my own Silent Hill memory, which is my friend in college, Rodney, had a copy of Silent Hill 2 for the PS1. I don't know why he had it with him. We had the PS2 at that time. But he said, "Oh man, I love this game. You should go play it." I think it was Silent Hill 1 or 2.
Okay.
And at the time, I had like this fake surround sound system in my dorm room, and it was basically like these really long cables coming out of one of those old stereo systems that were like gray and blue, and it had like 3-disc changer and like 2 tapes on the front. I thought I was pretty cool. This game I did not realize had surround sound. So at like 1 in the morning, I'm like, well, I'll go. Let's try going to play this game. And I pop it in, and you're walking down the very first road in the game, and the mist sets in, and there's a whisper, just like right from behind me. I'm like, nope, I'm out. All I have played of any Silent Hill game is literally those 5 minutes. Could not handle it. By the way, that's why I like YouTube gaming and Twitch streamers. That's how much of a chicken I am.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
That reminds me of my PT playthrough when I forgot I ordered Chinese food, and halfway through it, the doorbell rang, and I almost pooped myself. Yes.
My heart. The other, so I'll give a good gaming memory. During college, GoldenEye was huge. Yeah. GoldenEye and Halo was, I don't even know how to, it was bigger than Call of Duty typically is now. I mean, it was massive. And of course, somebody on the floor had an N64 and only GoldenEye and 4 controllers. And there was a really nice day one day, and we were just playing GoldenEye. And our RA comes by and says, "All right, guys, you got to get out. You have to go outside and go do something. Here's a Frisbee. Just go outside." So what did we do? Because we're jerks. Is that what
RAs do?
Well, you know, we liked him, so we're like, all right, fine. But what we did, because we're jerks, we open up the window, we put a table outside, and we stretch our cables for our N64 and the TV outside, and we sit outside and play GoldenEye out in the sun. I am not sure I've ever seen somebody so angry but so impressed at the same time, where it's like, you guys are jerks, but I can't be mad because you are finally outside.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's all of our emails and tweets for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. Those of you who wrote in for the first time, write in again.
Write in more. It's awesome.
We love all your stuff.
We do.
If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. Everything else is on the right-hand side of the page. Let's talk about our games for the week. Monday, Battlefield 4, Xbox One. Hit up Knobs, JKnob33. That also happens on Friday. Tuesday is Destiny Day-ish.
Yeah.
Find a friend on PS4. We'll figure something out. Wednesday is PS4 game night. Still currently Rocket League because that game is amazing.
It totally is.
Thursday is Steam game night. Follow the Steam group for TVGP. There's a link to it on the forum somewhere.
Yeah.
Friday, like we said, Battlefield 4. And Saturday and Sunday, hey man, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You
not
do
gonna,
you.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Current TVGP Game Club game is Vanquish. It should be finished downloading possibly soon. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Play that. We're going to talk about it, I believe, the first day of October.
Each playthrough of that game is short. So if you think, I don't have time to play it, that game is like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's not long at all. It lends itself to playthroughs.
Yeah, it encourages you to get better and do multiple playthroughs.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you can watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. If you can't catch it live, watch it on YouTube. youtube.com/users/thatvideogamepodcast.
Probably.
Just search TVGP. It'll bring you somewhere. Hopefully to our faces. That was weird. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, everyone, and we'll see you all next week.
Later.
Peace. I'm Knobs. All right. I don't have any titles. Did you?
I have a few, and the other Jay-Z has a bajillion.
It sounds like he just hit a gold mine this week.
He really did. So I've got a few here. We've got Shoot Them in the Face, Legendary Gunsmith, Arms Day. It just sounded like a great holiday.
Yeah.
Coach Jamal in chat had I'm Not Great with Sniper Rifles. Everybody Wants Their Orange Slices. Giant iPhones.
So good.
Ships, Shaders, Emblems, and Sparrows. Raid Shaders.
That sounds like one of those fast-talking commercials, like Ship Shaders, Emblems, and Sparrows, more for $19.95.
Yep. Addressing the meta. All 25,000 Pokemon. And then it gets crazier. Fantasy flying things. Go away and take off that hat. Vote with your eyes. What game beat you up? Someone in chat had that. I tried to scroll back and see who it was. Sorry, I can't credit right now. Actually, let me just search chat. That was Dimebag315 in chat. Haha. That's all I had. The other Jay-Z had the core gameplay idea. Everything is a spoiler. The fandom pain, Fandom. If I hadn't gotten fired. White Rarity. From the
right.
Destiny. Yes. Bluesian Rifle. Dave's Tex Machina. Just Your Basic Clash. Nova Bombs and Bubbles. Double Vault Space. Legendary Marks. MARX. The Collector in Me. 100-Yard Hand Cannon. Boredom in the House of Wolves. The Legendary Underneath the Bean. A Wild Ditka appears. Dragon Stabbin'. Fantasy Flying Police. Digital God Eater. Lofty Poetic Expectations. Bananas and Cruise Ships. Scared on My Behalf. Alleged Despot. Gaming Archaeology. And now we have a few that you added after. Legendary Pets. Ubers and Lubers.
Ubers and Lubers.
Silent Hill Memories. And Destinish.
So I captured 3 that I liked.
Okay.
Everyone Wants Their Orange Slices.
Yes.
Vote with Your Eyes, which is probably my least favorite. And What Video Game Beat You Up?
I'm a fan of who Everybody Wants Their Orange Slices just because it's a complete non sequitur.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody in America had some Orange Slices experience.
Yes.
Whether it was like baseball or soccer or something.
Yeah.
I still have to say What Video Game Beat You Up is a very close second place.
Yeah.
All right, starting in 3. I feel like we're just gonna go with it. We get our gut feeling, and that one works out pretty well.
Fair enough.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 412 for September 14th, 2015. Everyone wants their orange slices.
I made mine a mouth guard.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and chatting. Chat was super active this week. Love seeing it.
Awesome.
2 thumbs up for all of you guys and ladies.
Indeed.
Nice to see you all in chat.